I'm in Meeman-Shelby State Park, just outside of Memphis, Tennessee. I'm actually here in Memphis on a work trip, and I decided that instead of going to a hotel, I would come to this nearby campsite, only 20-ish minutes away from where I was, or the places I'm going on this trip. Right now, I'm waiting for an Uber to come pick me up. The Uber is going to take me to the other end of one of the trails, and then I'm going to walk back, and I'll come back somewhere behind me over there. So I got dropped off up by the trailhead. Neither me nor the Uber driver quite understood where the trailhead was. So I had him drop me off because I knew I was close, and it turned out I was, I don't know, quarter mile down the road. So I'm walking myself down to the trailhead now. So I am starting this hike with the sun low in the sky. We'll see sunset somewhere early in the hike, and it's about a 7-mile hike. So I'll finish this up with the last, 2/3 or so, maybe, half maybe, I don't know, in the dark. This intersection here is much closer to where I should have been dropped off. This is Robinson Hill Road that I'm on. That is Organized Campsite Road, I believe it's called. And the trailhead should be right over here somewhere. Here we go. Chickasaw Bluff Trail. That is what I'm walking. The trail here is not very clear, but you can see that it does not follow the road over that way. So it's somewhere over here. Maybe that sign? Sign doesn't provide much info, but this definitely looks like the trail. Maybe these white splotches are going to be my blazes today. No, it looks like it. There's another one up ahead over there. Starting this hike off with a quick descent. It's like we might have some rolly ups and downs here. We'll see. It's definitely a pretty cool part of the trail. I'm glad that I'm here with light. After the descent, the trail runs along this muddy creek. This trail's kind of gnarly, coming up this hill around all these roots and going quickly around trees. It's actually pretty fun. Common feature here seems to be these reddish exposed dirt parts on the side. In some places the creek has the same reddish hue as these. I'm sure there's a geological explanation for that I don't immediately know. The maintainers of this trail keep these bridges in good working order. This is the first time I've been at pretty much the water level. As this sign so kindly points out, the trail crosses the road. Guess somewhere down here. Oh yeah, you can see, continue up ahead there. The white splotch blazes continue. So you are here. Started over there, actually started down that road a little bit because I got dropped off at the wrong spot. Came down here, there. Now we've got the bluff front trail all the way down to here, and then back up to the campsite. So where that red line meets the black, that's basically where my campsite is tonight. This section here, a mile and a quarter in from the trailhead, say, we're starting to go back up. Crossing a creek again down here. The temperature right now is at that point where it's leading to lots of little adjustments. Temp started at mid-40s when I got out of the Uber, and I expect it to go down somewhere in the 30s by the time this hike is done. But as I pick up my pace and get hotter gradually, I'm putting on hats, taking off gloves, doing this, doing that. We'll see what I have to do, but it's going to be a game of trying to avoid sweating while still keeping warm. I just heard some howling behind me. Not sure if that was just a nearby dog, or do they have wolves here? Maybe coyote, I don't know. Twilight is definitely waning on me here. I still haven't put my headlamp on yet, but it's getting close. This section of the trail, actually the vast majority of the trail, I expect to look like this. Basically, we're following higher elevation to the left, lower elevation to the right. And so it should be this sort of forested rolling trail for much of what's left. Oh look, we got some ice. Hadn't really seen any signs of winter until that. This trail actually is really well blazed. The splotchy white blazes are frequent and easy to see. That's some kind of something built out here. I guess this is a group campsite of some sort. It's exactly the kind of place you expect to see a scout troop. Got some kind of water crossing here, and this is the first time I felt the need to turn on my headlamp. And the Chickasaw Bluff Trail continues this way to the left. See if I can go headlamp free for a little bit longer. Yeah, I think I'm good for a little bit longer. So I just crossed 3 miles from my starting point a little before the trailhead at right about an hour. I guess Naismith was right about the land speed of an unladen American walker. I can still make out the blazes. Trail's still clear. 3 miles in, so my guess about half or 2/3 of the hike being in darkness was pretty close. I just checked the map, and maybe this hike isn't 7 miles. That's not actually the end of my hike, because I got to continue back to the camp. But I just crossed 3. I'm at 3.5-ish now. That is not 3.5 from here out. Okay, it has officially gotten dark enough that I've got the headlamp on. I lost the trail for a second back there, and when I couldn't spot it without light came on. So here we are. Let's see, looks like the trail takes a left here. Oh, maybe it follows this road for a little bit. And it looks like the trail leaves the road right here. Yep. If I'm not mistaken, this is where the Chickasaw Trail ends and connects with the Woodland Trail. Okay, up this way back to camp. This part of the trail is actually kind of cool. It's right on this like ridge line. Both sides have a little bit of a drop off, 10-15 feet maybe. Ooh, a little precarious here. Whew, got some good elevation gain heading back to camp here. So I didn't actually map this out on all trails, just being a little lazy, but I think we've got red splotchy blazes for this one. Let's see what the sign says. Yep, headed to the campground and the trailhead parking on the right path. We got another sign. Campground, trailhead parking, this way. So we're here. I gotta get back to there. So it's like this. So this is descending again. I guess we just climbed up that ridge just to climb back down. Now we're back down to just about creek level here. This here bridge was an Eagle Scout project. Nice work, Alex, and thank you. It's pretty much been flat like this for the last stretch here. For this bit here, it seems like we are walking right in the river basin for a little bit. Campground this way, almost there. Oh, it's like we gotta go up. Something over there making a lot of noise. Whatever it is, I don't see it. Oh, I think it's down that gully there. I'm gonna try and catch a glimpse of it. Lights. That's gotta be the campsite. Should be just pretty much a straight shot from here. I put it even closer than I thought. That's my rental car right there. Here's my campsite. So I actually had the distance pretty wrong. That whole hike didn't even get me to 5 miles. I thought it was something like 7. So that means most of the hike, I was able to do it in the light. Just the last 1.5 miles or so was in the darkness. All right, plan from here, grab some dinner, drive back to where I can get Wi-Fi, do some work, come back and sleep. So last night I thought the Chickasaw Bluff Trail ended when it met the Woodland Trail, but apparently it did not. So I'm at the trailhead of the Chickasaw Bluff Trail, and I'm gonna walk this to complete it. The white blaze is for Chickasaw and the blue is for Pioneer. They overlap for this segment. It is definitely making more sense as to why my Chickasaw Bluff hike yesterday ended up being shorter than I expected. It's because I missed this segment and didn't realize it. So looking at the official map, it looks like Chickasaw Bluffs ends at the shelter, but this is following Pioneer south. This is taking me farther away from my campsite, and I am on a schedule, so I think I'm just gonna call it at this one arbitrary low point here and head back that way to the shelter. I think going this way, on the map at least, would have me walking Pioneer Trail, not Chickasaw bluffs, but it seems like on the ground, the signs and the blazes have them overlapping, whereas on the official park map, the Chickasaw Bluff Trail ends at the Woodland shelter. So I'm gonna go with the map because that's all I got time for and not follow the official blazes. Okay, I am back to where I followed the Chickasaw Bluff Trail south away from the direction I need to go. So on this trip, I'm only getting the northern part of the Chickasaw Bluff Trail, and I'm not gonna get the part that overlaps with the Pioneer Trail. And there's a white and a red blaze, so that is Woodland and Chickasaw. So I am back on both of those two trails. So that means last night, when I got to the juncture of Woodland and Chickasaw, there was an overlap to the way I didn't go. And I went the way that only had Woodland. So I am back doing a segment of Chickasaw now. We got a decent descent here, which makes sense because where Woodland and Chickasaw split, there is an immediate uprise on Woodland. Still some greenery down this portion. This is where I got to last night, so this connects me with yesterday's Chickasaw Bluff Trail hike.